what is happening in the livestock industry directly impacts on the security of the nation. The killing of policemen, the killing of communities, the destruction of farmlands, and all sorts of things. He's saying 75% of those things will come to an end once you can get it right. It's going to be a difficult task for you, but we believe you are very well qualified for it.
May I also specifically recognize the senators from Adamawa State, land of beauty, Alhaji Aminu Iya Abbas, District Senator representing Adamawa Central, District Senator Binus Yaroi Dauda, representing Adamawa South, and my very own senator from Adamawa North, Senator Amos K. Yohana, Reverend. My name is Idi Mukhtar Maya. I thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for finding me worthy of this nomination. I hereby give you a brief of my history. I was born on 12 August 1957 in Maiha, present-day Maiha local government area of Adamawa State. I was enrolled into primary school in 1966 at Jalingo Maiha Primary School, Maiha local government area, up to 1966. In 1973, I was a pioneer student of Government Secondary School Gwaza in present-day Borno State. Interestingly, that is the hometown of distinguished Senator Muhammad Ali Ndume. The beauty of that arrangement then, I was coming from Mubi to Gwaza. Senator Ndume was leaving Gwaza to Mubi. That crisscross posting of students at that time strengthened national unity and exposed students to the different social configuration of the country. From 1973 to 1977, I completed Government Secondary School Gwaza and gained admission into School of Basic Studies, ABU Zaria. After having successfully passed the IGM examination, I was admitted to read political science in ABU Zaria. After graduation, I was posted to the old Imo State for my mandatory National Youth Service Corps. I was posted to Akwete, specifically Obehi Grammar School. Obehi, Azumini, Akwete, Asa, Umahia, Umudike. I'm still very, very familiar with the geography of that area. And that couldn't have happened but for that mechanism called NYSC. And I'm very, very grateful for that. It gave me further insight into the country. On completion of my NYSC, I gained employment with the then College of Preliminary Studies, Yola, as a lecturer. And again, I met distinguished Senator Bino Siaro, who was our chief accountant. And between me and him, it was a natural bonding. I served CPS Yola. During the military era, I was appointed as a sole administrator of my Balba local government. Coincidentally again, that is the local government of distinguished Senator Binos. After a stint at my Balwa, I was redeployed to Guyuk local government. After having completed that assignment, I was the pioneer director of College of Administration and Business Studies of Adamawa Polytechnic, which took over from College of Preliminary Studies, Yola. In 1992 or thereabout, I applied and was employed by the then Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation as a personnel officer. I rose to the position of General Manager, General Administrative Services, later deployed to HR, Human Resources, and was also posted to Nigeria LNG as General Manager, Human Resources. That gave me a further insight into the management of oil and gas. The LNG today in sub-Saharan Africa is one of the most successful oil and gas company. After 3 years of service at the LNG, I was deployed to Kaduna Refinery and Petrochemical Company as Executive Director of Services. In 2016, we were working with McKinsey on certain reforms corporate-wide, and I was nominated to serve on that committee.
So
at the end of the committee's report,
the nominee,
yes, sir.
You can just go to the end and say you are ready to serve.
Yes, Mr. President. I was appointed the Managing Director of Kaduna Refinery and Petrochemical Company. I am, with all sense of humility, the first non-technical Managing Director of refinery in NNPC. I have, all along the line, incorporated a farm called Zaidi Farms that was deeply involved in modern animal husbandry. Mr. President, distinguished principal officers, distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I am here before you called upon by Mr. President to come and serve at a higher level, to serve our country and move it forward, particularly the livestock sector. Mr. President.
Thank you. From your resume, we wouldn't leave here today if we had to listen to the things you have done. So I think the President took his time in selecting this set of ministers. I'm very, very, very impressed. So, distinguished Senator Shehu, you want us to take Binus first? Binus Yaro. Yeah, just you have 1 minute so that we can have 1 or 2 comments.
President
Thank you. Reverend Amos Johanna, distinguished.
Of the people of Adamawa North and by extension Adamawa State, to thank His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for this very, very good choice to put the livestock industry in Nigeria on the very right pedestal. We thank Mr. President, and we will ever remain grateful to him for honoring us by picking one of our best to serve in this government. With this, I recommend and I will move that though we are not afraid, because he is qualified to answer any question in livestock production, but he can take a bow and leave. I so submit, Mr. President, and I'm grateful.
Thank you. If you notice ecclesiastical voice on the microphone, everything open. No, before I put the question, Senator Shehu Boba, you wanted to use 30 seconds to say a word.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, for you to share or adopt the sentiment, so to say, by the two distinguished senators from Adamawa State.
Well done.
Distinguished Senator Yaro and distinguished Senator who just spoke now. Sir, the nominee is very much knowledgeable, versatile on the modern husbandry. And you can see that, sir, he understood the intrigues and the intricacies of farmers' herders' crisis. Mr. President have done a right choice by nominating this man. And be rest assured, he was part and parcel on all the committees that came up with this idea of livestock ministry. And I believe he is capable to take this position. Mr. President, I'm calling on my distinguished colleagues to also confirm the nominee by Mr. President. Thank you. I so submit, Mr. President.
Thank you. Actually, they believe you are a square peg in a square hole. I must thank the President, because even for you to have been involved for 19 years in animal husbandry and all that, the question I would have loved to ask from here would have been that Nigeria has been bedecked by the problem of farmers, herders, crisis, leading to destruction of livestock, farms, farm products, and even human lives. Now that the President has decided to bring up this virgin ministry, and to put it under your care because of your experience. Can you just use 2-3 minutes to tell us what you think you will do to hit the ground running to bring all these issues to an end? Because with your appointment, I believe the people of Benue Plateau a man of God to talk. So just give us a brief summary of your vision for the new ministry and how you intend to hit the ground running to solve the problem of farmers, herders, crisis, and bring sanity to bear.
Adopt in order to curb all the crises emanating from that sector. On the basis of the handover notes from the Ministry of Agriculture, will intend to develop a database of all the infrastructure that are animal husbandry related. These are to say, all the grazing reserves in the country. We also want to know all the cattle routes that have been mapped out. We also want to know all the dams that are available. From there, we will bring to drill down and make sure in the immediate, those grazing reserves that have no legal encumbrances, that is to say that they have been gazetted, we analyze the situation. What is their holding capacity? Do they have sufficient grasses? Do they have sufficient water? Are there clinics, veterinary clinics, etc., etc.? To our understanding, hardest movement, there's a push and pull factor. The push factor from the north is the absence of fodder and water. We believe that feed and water is livestock. You can have grass where there's no animals, but you can't have animals where there are no grasses. In the immediate, our intention is to incentivize all herders and other animal rearers to remain where there are grasses, and the ministry will intend to work with other critical stakeholders to make sure that this vision is realized. The next, distinguished senators, is to do massive sensitization. Sensitization is in the sense that we want to, it is a battle of the heart and mind, to know that the herders have a stock that has value. It's beyond cultural holding. It is a business. And as such, it is an investment. And it is more profitable if you sedentarize. We intend to encourage people by building those incentives across all those 417 grazing areas in the country, to make sure that those areas are suitable and have sufficient grass and water to contain those animals, so that the incidences, the desire to move out, will be nipped in the bud. In this wise, we will require the support and solidarity of the National Assembly, the state governors, local government chairmen, and respective communities. These are the most important stakeholders. I believe these stakeholders, once we sit down and map out those lower-hanging fruits from the Presidential Committee on Reforms of Livestock, we will be able, in the not distant future, to address the situation. Thank you, Mr. Senate President and Chairman of the National Assembly.
Thank you so much. Senator Danduse.
Use this opportunity as a minister who is saddled with a very difficult task, because most of this criminality that is happening in Nigeria, you need to work as a minister to have a critical stakeholders meeting with the Fulani herdsmen that are moving from one part to another. Because if you look at the modern technology that is happening in most of the part of the world. Especially, I was in Netherlands, I have seen how they are partnering. I was in China, I have seen how they are doing. Because these incessant killings that is happening in Nigeria is uncalled for, and it is creating a lot of problems between different nationalities in Nigeria. Nigeria is blessed, so we have to use all mechanisms that are important to ensure that that movement is stopped and modern partnering is being embarked in this ministry so that it will stop, because the obsolete systems they are pursuing, that is what is causing most of these challenges in most of the part of the country, not in the south, also in the northern part of the country. My area, my zone, is one of the leading zones that even the British came and established settlement. And if you can collaborate with NAFRI in the area alone, I believe modern partnering can be embraced to carry out a very good, sustainable animal production and a lot of animal development in terms of what you are. So, Mr. Minister, my respected colleagues, this is a very important, and it will reduce 75% of the criminality that is happening in this country. Thank you, Mr. President.
So that is, you have been to Singapore and other countries to see how livestock is managed. So we will expect you to do the same.
Exactly, sir.
It's a new ministry, and you are very well versed in it, but also take stock of what is happening in other countries. What is happening in the livestock industry directly impacts on the security of the nation. The killing of policemen, the killing of communities, the destruction of farmlands, and all sorts of things. He's saying 75% of those things will come to an end once you can get it right. It's going to be a difficult task for you, but we believe you are very well qualified for it. Is it the view of the Senate that this nominee be allowed to take a bow and go? Yeah. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Thank you.
You may take a bow.